Once upon a time, a long time ago, in a faraway kingdom not in this country, there was a prince named Ivan. Ivan was the son of the king Taras van Slave and had two brothers, the princes Dmitri and Velissa. Ivan's brothers were older than him, but they were lazy. Ivan was brave, hardworking, and always did his best to honor his family.
One night, Ivan was out hunting, and it was an extremely dark night, and though there was no moon in the sky, millions of stars shone brightly enough for him to find his way.
The forest at night was full of creatures, animals and insects that made every imaginable creepy and crawly noise. A soft wind made the trees shake and the leaves rustled against each other.
The prince went slightly in search of his prey in the middle of the dark forest. As he cleared his way through the dense group of thorny bushes, he was amazed to come upon a bird that he had never seen before. The Firebird, as it was called, had feathers of brilliant gold and fiery colors, and eyes were like crystals. The prince was just as amazed by the tree whose fruit the Firebird ate. The tree was silver with golden apples for fruit.
Ivan stalked the Firebird, creeping silently and stealthily so he would not scare it away. His heart pounded in his chest. He was excited by the hunt and by the awesome magical bird, but he was terrified of not knowing what might happen to him.
Finally, when he was in close range and sure the Firebird had not seen or heard him, Ivan waited for the bird to turn again to the golden apples on the silver tree, and then he lunged.
The bird's wings beat upon Ivan's arms and head, but the prince would not let go. He would not give up on such a rare and beautiful prize. Finally, exhausted and realizing that she could not escape, the magical bird spoke to Ivan and suggested a deal. If Ivan agreed to let her go, she would give the prince one of her magical feathers. This feather, the Firebird said, would protect Prince Ivan from evil if he was ever in danger and called for help. She promised that she would come to his rescue.
Prince Ivan had captured the Firebird, but almost as soon as he had closed his grip around the bird's leg, he realized that it would be difficult to hold on. The Firebird flapped her strong, broad wings and, using every bit of strength in her body, pushing up for the freedom of the sky.
Ivan was completely amazed and agreed to release her. The Firebird removed a single shining feather and gave it to the prince. She thanked him for her freedom and praised him for this wise decision. Then the bird stretched her wings, circled through the air just above his head, and flew away into the night. Later the same night, Ivan came upon a group of 12 maidens and the beautiful Princess Vasila playing games and dancing in an arch next to the dark, enchanted castle. Each of them wore a long white gown with delicate silver embroidery. The princess had pearls, jewels wrapped around her wrists and neck and through her hair.
Ivan was overcome by the princess's beautiful and immediately fell in love with her.
Finally noticing the appearance of the stranger, the maidens were frightened and ran to hide behind nearby trees, but Ivan reassured them that he meant no harm. He was a prince, the son of Tsar Vislav, and he was in love with the princess. Because of his kind and noble words, the princess and her maidens welcomed Ivan to dance with them.
A group of 6 maidens surrounded him in a circle. The other 6 maidens surrounded the princess. Their dance was so full of soft, gentle movements. They jumped lightly and twirled and spun. Every step, every turn, and every gesture was together so that in one moment their movements seemed to resemble a sun with spinning, shining rays. In other moment, they seemed to be the soft petals of a flower.
After their dance ended, the princess in the silver embroidered gown warned Ivan that they were being held captive by the evil sorcerer Kachi, whose enchanted castle was nearby. Ivan's heart broke when he heard this news. He asked the princess if there was some way he could free them from the sorcerer.
The prince cried, "No, Kachi. He was wicked. If Ivan was captured, he would be turned into stone." So the princess told him to run away, but Ivan was brave, and because of his love for the princess, he was determined to free them from the evil sorcerer. The princess hugged Ivan before she and the maids left the orchard.
Suddenly, the guards of the evil sorcerer appeared, followed shortly by Kachi himself. The sorcerer was furious that Ivan had invaded his kingdom and ordered his servants to capture the intruder. The guards chased Ivan, who escaped for a short time, but soon there were just too many guards all around him, and there was nowhere to run. Finally, Ivan was captured and brought
terrified, Prince Ivan remembered the Firebird's promise. Kachi's guards were holding him tightly, and he could barely move. But somehow Ivan was able to reach the gift that the Firebird had given him, the single golden feather. And just as a sorcerer was ready to turn him into stone, just as he began to speak his deadly curse, Ivan found the glowing feather just in time. In that instant, the Firebird appeared and came to his rescue.
The magical bird put a spell on Catchy and all of his servants. The guards let go of Ivan, and under the bird's spell began to dance a wild, furious dance. They danced and danced faster and faster, faster and faster. They whirled around, nearly out of control. Their hearts pounded in their chests as they danced, and when they were completely exhausted, they fell down sound asleep. As Kachi and his servants slapped the Firebird, sang a haunting lullaby. It was a lullaby that kept them under her spell.
And while they slept, the bird told Ivan the secret of the sorcerer's power. All of his strength was stored inside a huge egg, hidden inside a wooden crate. Somewhere in the castle, if the egg would be broken, Kachi would lose his power and vanish.
Ivan realized that finding the egg was the clue to freedom. If he destroyed the egg, he would save Princess Elisa and the maiden, so he began to search the castle for the wooden crate holding the hidden egg.
After hours and hours of searching, and with a little help from the Firebird, Ivan discovered an ancient wooden box. When he finally pried away and lid and opened the box, he saw an enormous egg.
As he took the egg out of the wooden chest, Ivan was frightened by the power inside the egg. It was almost as if he could feel the social power radiating through the shell. But he remembered how the princess and her friends were being held captive by Kachi. Little by little, his bravery grew inside him.
The prince raised the egg and threw it in the sleeping sorcerer. With a crack, the egg broke, and with a bright flash of light, Castor's power was dissolved. All of the guards and terrible creatures commanded by the sorcerer disappeared. The castle vanished. And Castavich was gone. The prince, Valenisa, and her 12 maidens were free. Ivan thanked the Firebird. He knew that without the bird's help, without her feather, and the promise she made, he would have been turned into stone. Once again, the bird flapped her brilliant wings and lifted off into the sky. After circling in the air just above his head, she disappeared, leaving brave Prince Ivan and the beautiful Prince Vasila, the 12 maidens, and the rest of the kingdom to celebrate and enjoy.